You are a patriotic, history believing, government loving, registered Republican or Democrat. This video probably is not for you. It should be for you because it's time to grow up, America. The nonsense with this Iran thing, it just kind of sent me over the edge. So I took a little walk down memory lane that I would like to share, and we'll see what you think.
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky. I never told anybody to lie, not a single time, never.
And we found out that wasn't true. He did have sexual relations with that woman, and he did lie to Congress. So let's fast forward to 1998, I believe it is, and listen to some more nonsense.
The only way we're going to get rid of Saddam Hussein is we're going to end up having to start it alone, and it's going to require guys like you in uniform to be back on foot in the desert taking taking Saddam down. You know it, and I know it. So I think we should not kid ourselves here. There's stark choices. I happen to agree with your assessment. A, that diplomacy was picked over inspection-driven confrontation. B, that there's an illusion of arms control that cannot guarantee he will have no weapons of mass destruction. And C, that as long as he's there, he's concluded he can absorb airstrikes. So I think
Biden was a bonehead back then. A, B, D, and weapons of mass destruction. Which brings me to the next clip.
You talked about how just sick you felt to your stomach when you found out there were no weapons of mass destruction. Can you bring me to that moment? Did someone walk in and say, "We've stopped looking, they're not there"? Who was it? How did that happen?
It just kind of was it evolved. The fact that there wasn't weapons evolved. I mean, when we first got in there, started looking around and didn't find anything, you get that kind of sinking feeling that, uh-oh. And then time went on, and then we got tips, I'll never forget the tip that there was crates buried, hidden in the Euphrates River. So they found, maybe these are them, and they sent frogmen, and there was nothing there. And so, and then of course George Tenet had the inspectors go back in, or David Kay and Dulfer, and that pretty well was a period at the end of the sentence there. And
a period at the end of the sentence. 1.5 roughly million Iraqis died since 2003, and now here we are, virtually on the brink of war with Iran last week and the week before over more nonsense.
Attempt to breach the perimeter and the embassy, but also broadly the threat that the U.S. was tracking that has been described as imminent time and again by the administration. The president said last week that there was an attempt to blow up the U.S. embassy in Baghdad. Here's specifically what he said on Fox News.
I can reveal that I believe it would have been 4 embassies, but Baghdad certainly would have been the lead. But I think it would have been 4 embassies, could have been military bases, could have been a lot of other things too. But it was imminent, and then all of a sudden, he was gone.
Why couldn't you share that specific threat with senators in a classified briefing?
Well, that information, there was a reference in this exquisite intelligence.
Okay, he goes on, does some lawyer doublespeak. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. So you don't need to hear that nonsense.
That most, if not all, the members thought that the intelligence was persuasive, and that the Gang of Eight did not think that it should be released to the broader members of Congress.
Well, broadly, can you clarify, though, was the specific threat that the president shared with Fox News about 4 U.S. embassies being under threat also shared with Congress? Why was there a difference?
What the president said was he believed that it probably and could have been attacks against additional embassies. I shared that view.
The president said he believed. People believe the earth is flat. People believe that we walked on the moon. People believe a lot of stuff. Without evidence, we have no right killing anybody for anything at any time. Holy cow, that's crazy to me.
Being under threat also shared with Congress? Why was there a difference?
What the president said was he believed that it probably and could have been attacks against additional embassies. I shared that view. I know other members of the National Security Team shared that view. That's why I deployed thousands of American paratroopers to the Middle East to reinforce our embassy in Baghdad and other sites throughout the region.
Probably and could have been. That sounds more like an assessment than a specific, tangible threat with a decisive piece of intelligence.
Well, the president didn't say it was a tangible, he didn't cite a specific piece of evidence. What he said is he believed.
Are you saying there wasn't one?
I didn't see one with regard to 4 embassies. What I'm saying is I share the president's view that probably my expectation was they were going to go after our embassies. The embassies are the most prominent display of American presence in a country.
Okay, so we preemptively murdered somebody because they thought he was going to do something in the future. Well, if we're not in pre-crime Orwell doublespeak, I don't know where we're at. This is just, if I'm off the button on this, please comment and tell me I'm crazy. But this just seems like lunacy to me. Okay, we're going to finish this off with one more favorite. It's an oldie but a goodie.
The land of unconfirmed reports.
Yes, we came, we saw, he died.
Did it have anything to do with your visit?
No, I'm sure it did.
Is that not like the worst thing ever? That's horrible. Do a little research into Gaddafi. He gave up his weapons willingly to the UN or the US or Russia or whoever. I think it was France, actually. And he built the highest standard of living on the African continent. And that's what that cackling witch had to say about it. So here's my point. My whole point is, if we believe these people don't represent the American people. In the last election, 55% of eligible voters voted. So if the voting's not rigged and if it's a true system, personally I don't think it is, but if you want to go with that, if it's a true system, then 55% of the eligible voters are running the country through their representatives. Maybe we live in a country of 55% demons. I know the administration before separated white and black like no I'd ever seen. Back in the 80s, after the Cosby Show came out, we were good. Everybody was happy. And I know this is probably not going to be popular, but I don't remember race being a problem except in major cities at the level that it is now. Thank you, Obama administration. So something's going on. I feel like we live in the upside down world right now, and I wish it would stop, and that's why I made this video. So if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down. I don't care if you hit the thumbs up, and if you got bad comments, bring them. I'd love to hear them, because I just don't understand what the hell's going on anymore. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.